Morning. What I'd like to talk to you today is how to book Florida on a budget. I've been asked over years by friends, family, how I used to manage it. Back from 2000 until 2009, we used to go at least once a year, sometimes twice a year. Of course, I'm not a rich guy. It's a case of how do you get there, how do you budget it, how do you do it. I'm now in the process of doing it again because we are going back next year. Now my kids have started to grow up, some of the bills are paid off, so it's like, right, let's take the kids back. Last time we went, the eldest was 5.5, 6. She doesn't remember a lot about it, so she's desperate to go. We have done Paris a couple of times, but it's not the same. It's not the same as Disney World. So I'm going to quickly talk you through how I budget mine. Everybody's different. Well, first and foremost thing you need to do is set yourself a budget. If you don't set yourself a budget, then you will just blow out of water big time. You'll spend a lot more money than what you want to spend. You'll come back from your holiday, you'll be paying off credit cards, etc., and you'll be thinking, oh my god, yeah, amazing holiday, but I'm not paying for it for the next 12 months. So definitely set yourself a budget. If at some point I go off on a tangent, I apologise. That's just where I am. I'm doing this off the cuff, so just bear with me. My budget, right from 2002 forwards, I had a budget of £1,200 per person. That has to include the hotel, the flights, the car hire and my Disney tickets. I don't bother with Universal tickets or SeaWorld tickets. I used to, but it's one of them places, once you've been to SeaWorld or 3 or 4 times, there's not a lot more to see. I will do it again in the future when my kids are a little bit older, so they can get experience of it, because I do love SeaWorld. It's just I can't warrant paying the prices you pay to go in for one day. Same with Universal. I do like Universal, but I find with children's ages at the time, when last time I went, wasn't appropriate. There wasn't enough for us to do to warrant the payment of the Universal parks. So again, that's something you would have to budget in yourself. But just for Disney tickets, hotel, car and flights, I usually budget £1,200 per person. If I can get on that or close to that, it's generally, I'm happy with that. Anything I can get below that, brilliant, because that means it's spending money. Next thing you need to sort out is when you need to go, or when you can go, or when you'd like to go. Obviously, bearing in mind during summer holidays and things like that, the prices can almost double. These companies aren't stupid, they know they've got you by the short and careless, so they will up the prices. Your flights will increase, your hotels will increase. It just goes crazy, especially if you've got a family of 4 or more, it gets difficult. So when you want to go, yes, I know we get fined for taking our children out of school, but sometimes if you have good attendance on your children, the schools aren't too bad, and trust me, the money you will save by taking them out of school far outdoes your fine from the school. Excuse me. Obviously I don't advocate taking children out of school because it's good for them to get an education and a future, but if your children have got really good grades, like my 2 have, and they deserve it, and if it's maybe something you're going to do once in 3 or 4 years, then why not? You know, it's not like you're doing it every 6 months. Well, some of you might be, I don't know. I wish I had that sort of money. Obviously it's now been years since I went. I do miss it, I miss a lot, which is why we're doing my Paris ones. So we talked what your budget is, when you want to go, then basically what you want Do you want to stay on site? Do you want to stay off site? Do you want transport? Do you know what transport? Do you want to use local transport? Do you want to use Ubers? You need to sort that sort of thing out. But again, all comes down to cost. I personally love iDrive. I think iDrive for me is perfect. Yes, I'm a bit of a Disney fan, always have been, ever since walking in the doors in 2000. So when I stepped foot in my very first hotel I stayed in was All Star Movies. Loved it. Really lovely place. Brilliant atmosphere, great rooms, great resort. On the doorstep, use your own transport. But I then used iDrive in 2003 and I've never stayed on property since. I love the fact of if I do go back to the hotel room, or if you've got a bad day for weather wise and you can't do the parks, you're minutes away from anywhere. Even if you're walking, you can walk to a restaurant, you can walk to shops, you can walk to almost any attraction you want to. The bonus as well is I like to drive. When we go, I do like to drive. I like to have that freedom to come and go as I please, as I want to. So if we do have a day off from the parks and we want to go to a shopping mall, I don't have to worry about Uber fees. I don't have to worry about the iTrolley, where does it get me, what stop do I need to be on, what stop do I need to be off. So yeah, having that car is good, and there is some really good deals out there for having a car. I know a lot of you don't like to drive because you say, well, I'm on holiday, I'm not driving. I love driving in Florida. It's quite relaxing. I've never had any trouble, never had any problems. I say that apart from the very first time I ever went, and it took me 3 hours to get from International Airport to Disney because I got lost. I hadn't realised just how big it was. So please, if you are going to drive, get some good maps, or nowadays get a sat-nav. You can hear a sat-nav from the companies now anyway. So yeah, so I've started waffling a bit, apologise, I want to keep this on track. So how do I budget? Like I say, so I decide when I want to go. In this case it's going to be February. The weather isn't the best weather, but at the same time it's not the worst weather. It's not the hottest, but it's one of the driest. So you don't get as much of that mid-morning showers that you often get in Florida. So yeah, so rainfall in February is quite low. And I'm thinking when you walk around the parks with the children, last thing you want is to be ducking in and out of shops or running from place to place. You want to walk around and enjoy yourself. So when I say it's not as warm, I live in England. What's warm? Sorry, but their cold is our hot. So I'll still be in shorts and a t-shirt in February. As will probably most of my family, because like I say, we're from England, we're used to this sort of weather. So yeah, so we're going to February. Where do I want to stay? I want to stay iDrive. I've never stayed in Lake Kissimmee, which I would consider at some point. But this holiday, I know iDrive, want to play safe because it's the first time I've taken my children for a long time. So yeah, so February, iDrive. Car, need a full-size car, or bigger, but I don't need bigger. The basic one is okay for a couple, in a couple of cases. Intermediate, again, a family of 2 or 3 with a few cases, you'd be fine. Because we're a family of 4 and we're going to have at least 2 large suitcases going out at least. Who knows what we'll be bringing back. Probably 4 large suitcases. So I've gone for a full-size car. And then flights. We've always flown direct. Mostly because we've either had small child, so you've got the buggy and the extra things that go along with the buggy. And then mother-in-law has always come with us, and she hasn't been well, so we've got a wheelchair as well to contend with. So we've always gone for direct flights, which again can bump up the prices. If, like us now, we're a family of 4, but my youngest is going to be 10, well actually going to be 10 while we're actually in Florida, she doesn't know this yet, then I've looked at the alternative of getting a non-direct flight, just see what the options are out there and see what the price differences are. And I can tell you, if you're a couple or like I say, a grown-up family, and you don't mind that little bit of stopover, it's way worth it. I have saved a fortune just on flights alone, just by not booking direct. So again, what airport do you want to go from? Because I live in North England, live in Hull, there is no airports anywhere near us. We either travel 2 hours to Manchester, or we travel like 3 hours down to London Gatwick. I do know TUI is going to be running flights from Doncaster, which would be brilliant, but we don't start until April, so that wasn't an option for us this time. So again, you need to look at all that sort of options where you want to fly from. I know it really sounds stupid, but if you're looking for a direct flight, you are probably better off travelling down to London and flying from Gatwick than you are from Manchester, because the price difference is, again, way different. These are all the options I look at when I go to book. So, let's get down to it. How do I start it? Well, I'm a bit of a geek, and I spreadsheet everything. I have some really simple spreadsheets. This is the first one I generally complete. This is a blank one at the moment. All this is for flights and hotels. So I will go on. I have headings on here. Like say, I have a section there for direct flights and a section for non-direct flights. Or one stops. I won't go more than one stop. Sorry, but you'll waste more time sat in the airport than anything else. So, obviously what date I want to go from, the duration of a flight, because again, if you're doing a stopover, your duration is important. I have looked at some flights recently where the stopover is in Amsterdam, and your stopover is 1 day, 5 hours. I'm sorry, but I don't want to sit in Amsterdam for a day waiting for a flight to Florida. No chance. So, where we're flying from, which airport you're going from, the time that flight takes off, because again, that is quite important to myself. I like to get an early morning flight so I can get to Florida at a decent time. Where you're flying to, because again, these sheets aren't just for Florida, these are for any holiday. I've used these sheets for when we go to Tenerife and things like that. What time you'll land, because again, I like to land as early as possible on first day. That way you can get to your hotel, you can get settled in, you can go do some shopping, you can just get your bearings, and you can get rid of that jet lag as well. And the duration of a flight, so that's a complete duration right from start to finish. So how long it's going to take me. Is there a connection, and how long that connection time is. So like I just said, there's been one in Amsterdam for over a day. So sometimes you look at the price and think, oh, that's a great deal, but just look at that duration of your flight. You'd be surprised how much it can go from like a 9.5 hour flight to a 1 day 9 hour flight. Always look at it. You can have two almost identical flight details and same prices from same airports, looks like the same times, but one's a day later. Please just look at that. I also have any extras, so is there extra involved? Do you have to pay for your meals? Do you have to pay for baggage? That sort of thing, and how much them costs are. Then I have a total cost column. Then at the bottom, any additional information. That could be anything, I don't know, things like what airline you're going to fly with. Do you need to book it early? Do you need to book it late? What, you know, is a toilet check-in? Things like that. So any information that I can gather on them flights or what's going to happen. I have the same with the hotels. So again, I have a hotel name, the location of the hotel. Again, like I say, I want to stay iDrive, so I'm looking for iDrive primarily. But if I was just looking for the cheapest, I could have put Donkey's Me and Universal, Lake Buena Vista. What days I'm travelling from, what days I'm travelling to. And again, any extras, because a lot of the hotels charge like resort fees, anything from $5 to $7, $8 a night resort fees. You also get some like Universal ones as well. If you don't book the Universal tickets and you stay in a Universal hotel, you can actually get parking charges now. Same with Disney. That is starting this year. If you stay in Disney and you drive, There is a $13 a night, I believe it is going to start at. $13 a night to park your car at Disney. I'm sorry, that's just crazy. You are spending money in their parks, and they're going to charge you to park your car at the hotel. I'm sorry, but that was a definite no-no for me. That definitely put me off Disney straight away. Do apologise. Then we have obviously the total cost at the end of it all. What room amenities there are? Is there a fridge? Is there a microwave? Is there coffee machines? Is there Wi-Fi? Things that are important. And then hotel amenities. So again, you may not have Wi-Fi in your room, but there might be Wi-Fi in the reception area. Is there a pool? Is it indoor? Is it outdoor? Is it heated? Just little things like that. So that's the sort of sheet that I like to use. So that's the blank one. Quickly show you, this is my latest one I've just been using. Like I say, it's not tidy, it's not all there. As you come across certain flights and things like that, you'll find additional bits of information. Prime one, for example, here. The fourth flight I looked at, which is blank there, is identical to that flight there. Exact same airline, exact same times, everything else. Difference was, that one was £30 cheaper than that one, because I booked it through a different site. Please shop around. Don't go to a site. Don't go to Expedia and go, right, I want the lot, I'm going to book that, done. Don't do that. Look at different different sites. Like I say, I'll look at booking mine separately, and then once I finish booking it separately, I'll then go on package deals and see what package deals I can get. So, for a prime example of this one, just looking at hotels, apologise, looking at the flights, I had flights from, I would say, $1,195 for the four of us, up to $1,302. So a difference of £107. Doesn't sound much, but that's £107 you've got spending money. Why spend it on a flight when you're going to be sat there? If you can get there at the same time, same airports, why spend that extra £105? Unless of course if the times are right. If the times are right, sometimes it's worth that £105. But yeah, again, I looked at the travelling times. What time, I don't care what time I set off from England, don't bother me, I can get up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, travel to the airport, don't care. Because once you're on that plane, that's it. It's what time do I land is more important to myself personally. I like to say, like to get there early as possible. In the old days, you used to always get there about 2:10. It was always a landing time. You set off early in the morning, just get there about 2:10 local time, and that was perfect for us because we used to be able to get you, by the time you get your baggage, get out of the airport, you're talking nearly 4 o'clock sometimes, get your car, get to the hotel. You can lose a day almost. But now I notice a lot of the flights, what I've been watching, a lot of the YouTubes, is to get in there and it's dark. It's like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. I'm sorry, but you just lost a full day travelling. You'll get there 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you've still got time to unpack, still got time to go to shops, and you've still got time to hit a Disney park if you want to. Why would you get there late? Some of these flights, let's have a look. Landing times, yeah, perfect. 4:30, that's not too bad a time to get there. Because again, you've got time to do things. Then 6:30. 6:30 seems to be quite a common one now, which is great. But if you've got these flights all landed at 6:30 and you take an hour plus to get through customs, then get your baggage, then get your transport, whether it's Disney Express, or whether it's car hire, or whether it's an Uber, you're still talking maybe 2 hours, so you're talking 8:30 just to get out of the airport maybe. And then you've got to travel to your hotel. Sorry, 6:30 is no good to me. So, unless I can get a really good deal, then okay, I'm willing to lose 2 hours, so I'll get a better deal. So yeah, so so we look at flights, go on all the different flight places. Don't just look at Expedia. The internet is a wonderful thing now. Go on, just put in cheap flights to Orlando. see what sites come up. Yeah, you're going to get some scam sites, you're going to get some sites you know, you're going to get everyday sites that you know the names of and you think, yep, I can trust them. But again, I would look at the ATOL protection and that on these sites just in case you don't know them. So, ones I generally use, or I've got down here, I've got Skyscanner, that's my main one I use for airlines. That gives you a really good all-round ballpark figure, and we do compare a lot of sites. So it may not be one I go with in the end, because the price I can get better elsewhere, but it gives me a good option of all the flights, so I know what I'm looking for, what to expect. Cheap flights, that's not a bad one. Again, that's one where I got it £30 cheaper, just by the same airline. Expedia, obviously I'll use Expedia. Globe Hunters, that's another recent one I've found. They are quite reliable, very good. And finally Travel Supermarket, that's another one I use. So please don't just stick to one and go, oh yeah, right, there's a flight, I'll have that, boom, done. Yeah, I do know it's tricky because the prices do fluctuate. Within an hour the price can change from £1,200 to £1,500 easy for same flight, all because people have booked it, so prices go up. So you do have to be quick, but at the same time be vigilant, don't just jump on the first thing you come to. So yeah, so that's the flights. Hotel, again, once you know where you want to be, go on a site like Expedia or TripAdvisor, something like that, and just put in where you want to be. And generally you'll get a list, and you can list it by most recommended, which is generally quite your high-end ones. I always start at lowest price, lowest to highest price. Then I'll go down. Some you know you can cross off your list straight away. You know what sort of thing you want. A lot of them you'll get say maybe Motel 6, which to be honest with you, if there's a couple of you, a Motel 6 is adequate. If all you're doing is sleep in there, they're comfy, they're clean, why not? And you get them for something like £20–30 a night. Nothing. Obviously this time I set myself some things. We wanted a fridge, at least. I think you should have a fridge. I think most of the Orlando hotels now do have fridges in anywhere. Definitely wanted a fridge. Wasn't bothered about separate rooms. If we did want separate rooms, I'd be looking at suites, so something like maybe the Enclaves, which is a nice hotel, 2-bedroom suites, half kitchen, great, nice seating area. So I do like the Enclaves, but looking at budget, so it's like, right, we're all happy to stay in one room, let's do it. So yeah, so look at what amenities you want. Do you need the Wi-Fi in the room? If you do, obviously block out ones that don't have Wi-Fi. So, like I say, I go down the list from cheapest and keep going down. I sometimes go through 4 or 5 pages. I will have open, say, my Expedia page with all the hotels on and prices. I'll have open the TripAdvisor page. So I'll just copy and paste across to TripAdvisor and check out the reviews. Yeah, I know reviews aren't that reliable at times because it's easy to say negative than it is to say positive. So you've got to be sensible when you're looking at these sites. You know yourself. If someone's complaining that the carpet is a bit worn, is that going to kill your holiday? No. Now if people complain that, you know, the toilets don't flush, or the handles are falling off the doors, or things that are going to affect you, like cockroaches, then if that sort of thing's in review, skip it. Find another hotel. Start looking around. Yeah, I know you get what you pay for. The hotel I booked this time, yeah, it's not a Hyatt, it's not a Disney. I'm not paying £1,000 a night, which you can do on some of these hotels. And in general, what I've discovered is, so I've been, well, over the 9 years, must have been about 14 times, I believe I counted. So in 14 times I stayed in a different hotel almost every time. Apart from the All-Star Movies, stayed there twice. Stayed there in 2000, stayed there in 2002 for my honeymoon. That's the only twice I stayed on site. Then I stayed off site the rest of the time, and I've generally found, apart from say like the Enclaves, which is a 2-bedroom suite, all the hotels are the same. they're all the same size rooms. There's hardly any difference. I know this sounds awful, guys, but I get real annoyed when I watch my YouTube. I love watching my YouTube Florida vlogs. I do follow a lot of people on there. But we all walk into a room and go, oh wow, look at this, how fun, oh look, it's brilliant. It's identical rooms, guys. You walk in, you got your desk or your chair, you got your drawers with a TV on top of it, then you got your wardrobe space, you got your two beds opposite with a bedside lamp, you got a bathroom area with a sink in it, and then you got a bathroom area with a bath or shower in it. I'm sorry guys, all these rooms are almost 100% identical. Only difference is the decor. Yeah, you compare, and you can go to a Disney hotel and pay like say £600–700 a night for a room. You just look at the layout of that room, guys. You get on YouTube, you look at the layout of some of them rooms, then you look at, I don't know, Quality Inn on International Drive or Kiss Me. Just look at the rooms. You tell me the difference. They're the same size, the same layout. Yeah, one's a bit more modern, but you're paying £200 to £300 a night more. So yeah, of course it's going to be modern. So, sorry, bit of rant over. I do apologise. That's how I feel about rooms. A room, when you're in Florida, is somewhere to sleep, put your head down, get up in the morning, get washed, get showered. That's all I need a room for. I don't need a big apartment or anything like that. I'm not going to be in my room. I need a comfy bed, good maid service or hotel service, and clean. That's the three things I look for. So that's hotels. So yeah, so that's how I do my hotel. I go down. I then look at car hire. Do the exact same thing with car hire. I will just look at all the different sites. Again, Skyscanner, Expedia, all these do car hire as well. So I'll again decide what size car you want. It's just a couple of you. Economy. Unless you want to splash, unless you've got a budget and you want to splash out and get like a convertible or something because it's a treat, then you know. Just get whatever size car you're looking for. Again, be careful, there are extras involved. When you book and we go, oh, free car hire. It's not a free car hire. One, little bit of price will have been put onto the holiday, and two, once you get to the insurance section side of it, you only get basic insurance. You do not want basic insurance. You need to be stepping up to either the middle or the top insurance. I've never ever, all the time I've been there, I've never had a problem with my car, never had an accident, never had anybody hit my car, anything like that. But I have got family and friends who have had problems with cars, and without that insurance, guys, you're talking a lot of money. It's worth paying that extra 150 quid or whatever to get that better insurance. I know it all goes on a budget, but it's worth it in the long run. You're not paying for it when you come back home. So yeah, so that's what I do. I then go on the package holiday sites. Again, I even have a sheet for package holidays. I have one for car hire. Sorry, I didn't show you a car hire one. I have one for package holidays. This is a blank one. Again, it is what site I'm using, where I'm going from, where I'm going to, what are the flights, what are the hotel, what car I've got, what extras there is, and the total cost. Simple thing. So shop around. Usually, if you get a package holiday, you can get it cheaper. I know in the old days you used to be able to book it all separately and get a good price. You still can, depending on what you want. But sometimes the package holiday can be a little bit cheaper, and you've got it all under one flag. So if there is a problem, you're at all protected if you're using the right site. So sometimes it is worth doing that. What I've done in this case is I did all my flights, I did my hotel, so I found what sort of time flights I want to go, where I'm flying from, that sort of thing, what sort of hotel I'm looking at, what car I wanted, and then I went and put exact same details into a package holiday one and compared the prices between the two. I finally ended up on Travel Supermarket for their package. They passed me on to Holiday Genie, and the deal I've got with Holiday Genie, I can't believe it. It is really good deal. Like I said at the top of this video, I budget usually £1,200 per person. There's 4 of us, so that's £4,800 at our budget before spending money. I've got this one for, well, let's just say the hotel, flight and car is £2,200, and then I've got roughly about £1,600 for Disney tickets. So I've got this holiday for less than £4,000. That's 4 of us to go to Florida for 2 weeks, hotel, flights, car, everything, for less than £4,000. That means I've got £800 in my pocket for spending money. Hence I said we might be taking 2 cases out, but I think we'll be bringing 4 cases back. But yeah, the deal I've got, and again sometimes it's worth talking to these guys. I just rang them up and said, look, this is what I'm looking at, I've seen this deal. You know, you can sit there for days and days and days looking at these sites and still not get the full deal that they can get you. So just give me a ring, or request them to ring you, whichever's easier for yourself. Holiday Genie, I tried to ring them at first, but I was busy, so I didn't have a lot of time, and I was in a queue, so I didn't. I just left them, so I ended up leaving a message. They rang me back on the next day with the holiday. Said, right, I see you booked this holiday, blah blah. How are you on travelling dates? I was quite flexible on travelling dates, give or take. Obviously I want to be in that month sort of thing. And just by travelling the day before, my flight times have cut down. Like I say, I'm doing a one stopover because I want to fly from Manchester. A bit more convenient for us. So originally, my original flights I looked at, we flew from Manchester down to Heathrow. Then we had to get across London from Heathrow to Gatwick to get a connecting flight to Orlando, and it's the same coming back. So it came from Orlando to Gatwick, then you had to get across to Heathrow to get back to Manchester. So, but the flights were really cheap. So I thought, oh, okay, fair enough. There's a 3-hour difference between landing in London and getting to the other London airport. So plenty of times getting between the airports, but again there's extra cost involved. Talked to Holiday Genie rep, Darren, really good guy, really helped me out. He said, well, if we go the day before, we can fly into Frankfurt. Instead of using British Airways, we're going to use United Airlines. You fly into Frankfurt, there's a 90-minute stop. 90 minutes. Barely time to go to the toilet before you're back on the next flight off to Orlando. So it's cost me an hour and a half. Wow. Coming back, it's a bit longer. It's a 2 hour 10 minute stopover coming back. But again, it's nice. You can land, you can get a cup of coffee, you can get something to eat. Back on the next flight, and then of course it's only a short flight back. It's an hour and a half, 2 hours back from Frankfurt to Manchester. It means I'm not changing airports, anything else. So Darren got me that. He looked at a hotel I was looking at. He offered me a better hotel for the same price. Come on, this hotel wasn't even on the list for that price. It was much higher. But he's sat in that office, he's got the deals in front of him. He got me that deal. He's really nice hotel. I've heard a lot of good about this hotel. I'd like to stay in this hotel, but it's always been a little bit above my budget, so I've always gone somewhere else before that. So Factor's got me this hotel and a good flight. And it's about the car, because I'd not looked at a car at this point. He got me the car, self and same car from the exact same place I was looking at individually, £20 cheaper. Don't sound much, guys, but that's 20 quid. That's £20 spending money. That's £20 in my pocket. So why not? I'm going to go to the same airport, go to the same car hire desk, get the same car. Why not save £20 for the sake of a couple of hours sat on the internet? It's worth it. So on that note, that's all I want to talk about regards budgets. So set yourself a budget, please set yourself a budget, but look out for little hidden extras, the airport parking, the hotel fees sometimes, parking fees at the hotels. Again, I take into account things like, because I'm not staying on site, I need to pay for parking when I go to Disney. So I've budgeted for that. Again, I've saved £800 on my holiday. That £800 will pay for me to park every day. It'll pay for my petrol. Petrol's dead cheap out there anyway. It also means we can now do a Medieval Times show, which we love. We generally do a Medieval Times every year. I wasn't sure I could afford it this time, because we have had a lot of expenditure this year. So, look at all that. So I'm going to quickly just run you through what I finally got booked in the end, and just show you the sort of thing I do. I always, again, I'm a bit of a geek. I set up like a folder as to what, everything, so it's all in one place. I don't like bits scattered everywhere. I like to be able to go to one place, look at it. So that's it. That is the Morrowlink holiday. So February the 12th, 2019 to February 26th, 2019. Look at that. Can't wait. Disney World, here we come. Right, I'll print all these off straight off the internet as I book them. So this is a Holiday Genie site, holidaygenie.com. Once I've got confirmation, that's it. That is all the bookings, that's the flight times, everything. Even flight numbers. So look at them. So just double check all these are right as well when you go. So there's on my holiday expenditure. Even have my ATOL certificate. So if anything goes wrong, I know I've got that in black and white, I'm covered. Where we go from there, we've got receipt for payment. Usual information I've got there, obviously how much hour sunshine there is, how much rainfall there is each month. Again, if you're going to choose what month to go, choose a month that suits you. If you don't like hot weather, choose a colder month. If you want the hot weather, choose a hotter month, but during hotter months you're going to get more rain. So it swings around a little bit. So yeah, so that's me things. Even got the plane seat layouts. So that's a flight from Manchester to Frankfurt. That's a plane layout, a seat layout from Frankfurt to Orlando and back again, because it's the same plane. It's a Boeing 747, I believe it is. Oh, no, apologise, it isn't. That is the Boeing 747, and that is the flights again from Frankfurt back to Manchester. So I have all the seat plans, so when I do sit down with Darren on the phone and book my seats, I've got it in front of me, I know what I'm looking at, I know where I'm going to be put. I then have my hotel, the Rosen Inn at Point Orlando. Looking forward to this. I've heard so much good about these hotels. The Rosen Inns are really, really good. I've never had a bad review on any of them. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about them. I've had friends who stayed there and they are really good. I had a choice of the one further up I drive, so the international one or the Point Orlando one. Point Orlando now, it's directly opposite the Wonderworks. Anybody who knows iDrive at all, it's the upside down house, call it the Wonderworks. It's directly opposite there. And on the opposite corner now is a full shopping area called Point Orlando. So you've got hotel, sorry, not hotels, got restaurants, got shops, everything. So on a quiet day, or if we don't want to do parks one morning, or get back early one night, we're in walking distance to restaurants. The other bonus of all, guys, why I like iDrive is, obviously because I do like to drive, I can't drink. Can't drink while I'm driving. It's something I'm really dead against. I won't even have a sip. So it means on a night time if we go out for tea, we can walk to a restaurant, I can have a beer. Win-win. Can't go wrong. Yeah, and then that's the hotel layout, so and then know where the blocks are. So again, once I get older Darren and we're sitting and he goes, right, you're in block E, room 624, whatever. I know exactly where block E is. I know roughly going to be 6th floor. So yeah, and then any from there on, it's just any sort of receipts I get, I will just book any receipts. Every time I pay something, print it out, put it in. My proof I've paid. Eventually, once we get the passport sorted out for the girls, because the girls' passport, the eldest has run out, youngest won't have enough time left on it when we go, so we've got to renew the passport, so doing that now. Photocopies of their passports will be in here as well. Another quick one with passports, I know it's nothing to do with booking a holiday, but it's a nice little tip that I've always used. Always scan your passports and email them to you, or take a photograph of your passports, email them to yourself, or email to yourself and your partner. Sounds really stupid. People say, what are you doing that for? Let's say, for example, you do get into wherever it is you're going in the world, you do lose your passport gets stolen, there's always an embassy. You can go to the embassy, you can go to the immigration office, whatever it is. You've got all your details there on your email, so you can get sorted out a lot quicker. If you walk into an embassy and say, I've lost my passport, you go, well, what's your passport number? Don't know. When does it expire? Don't know. So, really simple tip, guys. Email it to yourself. There's access to computers everywhere in the world now. Pretty much, I'd say about 90% of the world is covered by internet. So, yeah, good tip. So if ever you lose your passports, things like that, you've got it. Same with things like the ATOL certificate. Again, I'll be copying that and emailing it to myself, because that way if something should happen, we've all had travel companies go under lately. I was booked with Travel City. I used to use Travel City Direct all the time. It was good flights, cheap, everything else. But they went under 2 weeks before we was due to go. I had to quickly book again regards that. But what if that had happened while I was in Florida? What if I'd been in Florida when that had gone down? So again, ATOL certificate, anything, any information you can, email it to yourself. Takes 10 minutes. It's worth it. You don't be stuck in a foreign country, especially if you, I'm talking America here, so it's probably easy. Let's say you're travelling around Vietnam or something like that, and these things happen to you. Finding people that speak your language could be a problem. Everything else, so get as much information as you can on your phones. You all have phones now with emails and everything else. And if you don't, you can walk into a consulate, they'll have a computer. Do it. Enough of me waffling. So yeah, so that's how I budget. Hopefully going forward, as of yet, obviously we have only got 10 months now before we go. So a bit of a last minute thing. So I'll now be looking at all your bits and bobs. I've also booked me Disney tickets already. They're booked now, because that way at least if there is a price increase, which we seem to be doing quite a lot lately. I know looking at the different tier system, so you'll pay more for one day than we will on another day. Don't know how that's going to work, don't know how it's going to affect the tickets, so I've booked my tickets already. Everything booked, done, ready. Just got to pay the balances, which none of us like to do, but we've got to do it if we want to go. And that's it. So hopefully some of you guys got a good thing from this. If you haven't got a budget, brilliant, fantastic. If you've got well paid jobs or nice inheritance or something and you can afford to just book anything you want, brilliant. Ignore everything I've said. If like me you're a family guy holding down a job, you got expenses with your children, I say we're an extension built at the moment, that's really eating into our money massively, but you still want to go on holiday and you want to go to Florida, take heed of what I've said, take on board everything I said. I'm not 100% right. You might find some better deals, you might find it cheaper to book it direct than through a travel company, but please, all I can suggest is do your shopping, and most of all, enjoy it. It's not a chore. Every time you can save £1, that's £1 in your pocket to spend on something else. And like I say, most of these, the flight goes from the same airport, it lands at the same airport. There might be an hour difference, I've got to sit in another airport, but I've saved £500–600 from flying direct. That's £500 I've saved there. Your hotel, sometimes you can get a better deal talking to a hotel direct. Sometimes you get a better deal from going through a package, sometimes you get a better deal from different sites. Look at it, there can be a massive difference. The Rosen Inn, I've got a Rosen Inn for less than £400 for a fortnight. Crazy guys, that is mental. You can pay £400 a night for some of these rooms. So look at it, look at your different sites. Car, again, your car is going to be the same car from the same company at the same airport with the same insurance. Nothing is going to be different whether you book it through them direct or whether you book it through a different site. It's going to be the same thing. So if you can save 20–30 quid, save that 20–30 quid. That's money in your pocket. When you're walking around them Disney parks and your kids are going, can I have that, can I have that, can I have it? You're going, I wish I'd saved that 20 quid. So, on that note, sorry for waffling. I told you I often waffle. I'm not going to edit this, so if you don't like it, tough. Apologise. All I can say is enjoy yourselves and book them holidays. See you real soon.